if you guys want to win 100,000 coins on FIFA 18 in my February giveaway, all you need to do is leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Best of luck and enjoy the video. Hey guys, Youthway here, and today I'm going to show you guys one of the most profitable and effective trading methods right now on FIFA 18. With this method, you're going to be getting cards for just a couple of hundred coins that you can sell for 5 or 6 times what you bought them for. It's so easy, and it will make you literally millions of coins on this game. So if you guys do enjoy, let's try and smash 250 likes on the video, and also if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe. But without further ado, let's go on into it. So with this method, we're going to be trading with cards needed for future League Score Builder challenges. Now for those of you who don't know, every month EA release 2 of these. So the last 2 were the Bundesliga and the J League, and over the past couple of months of Ultimate Team we've had a multitude of major leagues released, but the 2 that haven't come out are the Premier League and La Liga, so we can expect those to come out over the next couple of months. And there are a lot of smaller leagues as well, including the likes of the Hyundai A League, the Argentine League, the Belgian Pro League, the Scottish Premiership, just to name a few, and they're all going to be coming out over the next couple of months and weeks of Ultimate Team. In about 2 weeks time, that is when you can expect to see the next SBC. They normally come out on Fridays at 6 PM along with any other promos, and if you guys invest in the right cards at the right prices from the right teams, you can make a lot of profit. Now as you'd expect, whenever a new SBC comes out, players in high demand are going to rise up in value, and that's the case across pretty much all of these leagues. Whenever a new SBC comes out, most of the players, apart from the majority of the bronzes, are going to rise in price. The ones that go up the most are generally silver cards, as they're quite rare. Not many people open silver packs on this game, and they always rise up a lot, but some cards go up even more than others. I just want to show you guys a few examples of players who've gone up massively because of League SBCs. These are some silver centre backs from Lille. They're going for over 20,000 coins, and before the SBC come out, you'd have been able to get the vast majority of these for around 400 or 500 coins. So they've gone up about 40 times what they used to sell for. Had you invested in just a couple of these, you would have made hundreds of thousands of coins. Wingers from Lille are also going for a lot. So if we look at left wingers, for example, they have a silver card who's going for about 20k, and they've got a bronze card that is currently going for about 1.5k, but used to go for about 10,000 coins. And then over on the right wing, we've also got a really expensive player. We've got Pepe, and he's currently going for about 25k. Again, that's a silver card that would have previously been going for just a couple of hundred coins. We've also got El Ghazi, and he is going for a ridiculous amount of coins. Currently 52k is the lowest by now on the market, and you could have got that card for just a couple of hundred coins. And this is the case across all of the players really in this league. The vast majority going for around 1,000 to 3,000 coins or so, but if you invest in the right players, they go up even more. So if we look at the Bundesliga, for example, they have another good example. If we look at Frankfurt, just as an example here, their left mids, they're currently extinct on the market. Well, one's just come up, he's 17k. He's probably going to go very, very fast. These guys sell really quickly. But that's just another example of how expensive these cards can actually be. If you look just at silvers alone from Frankfurt, you're going to see quite a few that are going for a lot of coins. I mean, you could get the vast majority of the cards you see here, some of which are going for like 3 or 4k, for just a couple of hundred coins before this SBT come out. It's so easy. And if you guys invest in the right players, the ones that are going to go up the most in price, so for example with Lille, they only have 3 centre backs on the game, so if you noted that, invest in their centre backs as they'd most likely be required, you can make a lot of profit. They also only had 1 right mid, he's gone up massively in price, so again you could invest specifically in one of those players and make profit. That's what you want to do. You want to look for the worst teams normally in the leagues you're investing in, as they have a lot of silvers, they have less goals, more silvers, so they're going to be needed for the SBCs, and you want to look for positions where there aren't too many players, and that gives them a high likelihood of rising up in price. So the best leagues to invest in my opinion, are the Premier League and La Liga. This is because these leagues are 2 of the most popular on Ultimate Team, so when an SBC is released for a player from one of these leagues, a lot of people are going to want to complete it. It's going to be a good high rated player. From La Liga, it's rumoured to be Gareth Bale. From the Premier League, no one knows, but it's going to be a high rated player that a lot of people will want to unlock, and for that reason players from both of these leagues will rise up significantly in value, especially if you get the right players from the right teams in the right positions, because as I've mentioned, there are certain players that are going to rise up more than others. Although I would recommend investing for the whole league as a whole, and I have actually done that. I've invested in pretty much every single club, and I've picked up a full starting 11 from that specific team. But some good examples for teams that don't have too many players in certain positions or too many goals. We've got Girona. They only have 3 gold players on the game. They only have 1 silver left back, I believe, and that is Planas right here. You can get him pretty cheaply. They only have 2 left mids. Moreno is one of them. You can get him quite cheaply, right? I mean, he's risen up a little bit. He's about 2.5k or so on the market, but I've got one for 500 coins here, and if you snipe or get these cards on bid, you can get some really good deals. There's also a bronze left mid here called Andazina. They don't have too many centre backs. They only have one right back too, so you've got some good investments there. Levante is another good option. They don't have too many goal players, and they've got certain positions where they don't have too many players either, so you can get some good investments there. Also for their goalkeepers, I believe one or two of these players have actually transferred away, so they only have a couple of goalkeepers and their silvers, so there's some good investments. And there are a couple of other teams that have a lot of silver players. Leganes only have a couple of golds, so you've got lots of different silvers in a lot of positions. Alaves also pretty much the same with them. And with the big clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid, you can get some cheap alternatives to expensive players, because no one's going to submit Messi or Suarez, someone like that, into an SBC like this. So someone like Dembele, he's the only other Barcelona right mid who's high enough rated, so a lot of people are going to use him instead of Messi, so he's a good option. If you go over to Real Madrid, you've also got some similar types of players there. So for example, in at left back, you could go with someone like Theo Hernandez, because no one's going to want to trade Marcelo in. You've got people like Varane, for example, and Nacho Fernandez instead of Ramos. You guys get the idea. You just want to look for cheap alternatives to expensive players for the big teams, or you want to look for those players where there aren't too many other players in that position for that specific team. With the Premier League, you want to do pretty much the same. So, for example, Brighton, they have a lot of silver players. Look for the newly promoted teams and some of the worst teams in those divisions. You've got loads of silvers at Brighton. Bournemouth, they've got a lot of silvers too, especially in the winger positions. They do have a few golds. I remember their centre-backs last year were about 25k, but now they've got some gold defenders. But they do still have quite a few silver wingers, as you can see right there. Burnley have got a lot of silver cards too, so you've got some good investments there, especially in the defence and in the midfield. For teams like Chelsea, cheap alternatives, you've got people like Rudiger and Christensen instead of Azpilicueta and David Luiz at centre-back, Caballero instead of Courtois, you've got Romero at United instead of De Gea, plenty of options there. Huddersfield also have loads and loads of silver players, as you can see there, especially in key positions like full-backs, centre-backs, and also those winger positions they always go at the most. And then with Manchester City, you've got Mendy as the only left-back from the club, so he's a great one. Jesus as a cheap alternative to Aguero. Sane is the only left mid playing for City, so he's a good one there. You've just got so many good investments to pick up. Man United, as I've said, you've got Romero, and then you've got people like Herrera who've got a high enough rating to be used in a team like this, but it's a better option than someone like Pogba, who's going to be way too expensive. Newcastle have a fair few silvers as well, especially in certain positions. Same with Southampton, they've got quite a few silvers that will probably go up in price. Spurs, you've got cheap alternatives to Harry Kane. You can look for people like Llorente, for example, who are always going to be good. I believe Stoke have a few silvers. Swansea have a couple of silver players too that you can pick up. Watford have a few silvers. West Brom have a few silvers too. West Ham, I think they're mainly gold, but there are a couple of silver players and certain gold players where there aren't too many other options, for example. And yeah, it's the Premier League, just like with La Liga, you want to cover those clubs with cheap alternatives, and you also want to go and cover the clubs that don't have too many gold options. But as a whole, just try and pick up a good amount of gold players from most of the teams, just so you're covered. That way you can complete the SBC cheaply, or you can sell the cards on. So going through my club, for example, with La Liga, I've got loads of players for all of these clubs, so when it comes to the SBC being released, I'm going to be able to complete it. I mean, some of these I have used in SBCs, for example, so I'm slightly low for some of these clubs, but I'm going to be stocking up before the SBCs come out, which will be in a week or two. And I've just got plenty of cards in my club. But as well as investing for these ones, as I said, you can also invest for those smaller leagues, which are going to have League SBCs as well released over the next couple of weeks and months. So we've had the Russian League, but I think the Scottish Premiership we're very likely to have. For these smaller leagues, just put a maximum price of 300 coins, silver, go through and bid on all these different cards, and try and get one of each silver card from these specific leagues. So the Scottish Premiership is a good one. The Swiss League is also a good one to go with. The Belgian Pro League, I think that's almost guaranteed. We're definitely going to have an SBC for that, so definitely pick up some investments again, looking for those left and right backs, centre backs, left and right mids, try and get them cheap on bid, or even try and snipe them. The Primera División in Argentina I think is quite a good one as well. We've had the MLS and the J League, we've had all these leagues there. The Liga de Mayor potentially could also be a decent league. The K League as well, potentially, although there isn't that good of a player in that league to get the SBC card. Potentially the Hyundai A League could also get a league SBC there as well, and then I don't really think we'll have any of these leagues there. But anyway, I think those are the best investments in my opinion, La Liga and the Premier League. You've got loads and loads of good cards there. that I would 100% recommend you guys picking up. And then if you look at some of those smaller leagues, you've got silver cards you can get really cheaply that you can make some good profit on as well. But as I said, you want to focus on either cheap alternatives to expensive players. So for example, Dembele instead of Messi. You want to look for players where there aren't too many other players in that same position. So for example, the only left back for a certain club. You also want to look for clubs that have a lot of silver players and not too many gold players, as they're going to rise more in value as the silvers are going to be rarer. But if you go and invest in those cards, and also just invest in a lot of cheap cards. So for example, if you go to La Liga, go to silver, put the maximum buy now to maybe 300 coins and just get a lot of those cheap silver cards. If you just cover all the leagues, get all these different investments, you're guaranteed to make so much profit. You can spend just 100k or so in investments and turn that into 1,000,000 coins of profit with this method. It is that effective, and for that reason I really would recommend it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new on here, and be sure to check out the giveaway that I mentioned earlier on in the video. There's just a couple of days left to be entered into that, and all you need to do is leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. But I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you later. Take care.